love can mean emotional, physically, and it's not just love as for your parents or for somebody, or if you're married, your husband or your kids. And this is where I'm going to start going into the whole of my situation, my story. At first, I was engaged, and of course, I said I loved my fiance. I was walking with God already, but not 100%. So I knew what love is, obviously, for that affection towards my fiance. And I would put my fiance first. If I needed money, he can help me out. If I needed affection, he will give it to me. If I need somebody to hear me out, somebody to trust, he will give it to me. And God was coming in second. And we have to keep in mind that God does not come in second, he comes first. So when God is coming in first, he gives us all that. But I wasn't doing that. I was putting man first and then God. I had to learn the hard way. My fiance passed away. So it was a tough time where I didn't feel love anymore, because I was like, he's gone. God's not going to love me. I mean, for so many years, so much happened to me. Where was the love? I cried out so much. I said, if you really are God, I do not want a depression, because I had already gone to a depression before. And it's the most horrible feeling. And I said, if you're really listening to me, I don't want a depression. I want to stop crying. I don't want to feel pain anymore. I want to live my life. And in a matter of 3 months, I mean, I was mourning, I was sad, I was crying, but even I would tell myself, hey, I don't have a depression because I'm eating. I don't want to just sleep. I want to go out. I want to go live life. So that's when I started learning that God loved me. God was listening to me, and that he would hear me out, that he heard my prayer. He heard that I was like, I do not want to fall into this again. Like, I had already gone through a depression. I had already gone through the whole, does God really exist? Because I think we all sometimes go into that point where we start thinking, does God really exist? Is he really listening to me? Is he really paying attention to me? You know? And that's one of the things that I have kept close to me, which is the trust. And if you guys open up your Bibles in Isaiah 41:10, it says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not dismay, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So meaning that he's never going to leave us. He's never going to step away from us, even if we're doing wrong, even if we're doing good. He's always with us. And it's something that we sometimes probably hear, since we're only human. We don't trust the Lord. We just go from what we see. Or we go and trust our friends. We go trust. But is that really it? It's like we have to trust in our Lord. And I think that's something that I'm slowly learning. Not to just, I mean, you sometimes talk to your friends and you're like, oh, I trust that person. But there's nobody you can trust as you can trust the Lord. You can talk to the Lord. I'm in my car sometimes and I go, hey, dude, I don't know if you're paying attention to me, but this, and that. And God hears us out. And sometimes I picture myself like, maybe I'm disrespecting him by calling him dude. But it's just a matter that, hey, I'm talking to God. How many of us, I put myself in that situation where how many of us say, I trust you, Lord? We sometimes don't. As in the same of love. Sometimes I catch myself and I say, oh, I love chocolate. Oh, I love food. I love to eat. But then I say to myself, how many times have I said, Lord, I love you. God, I love you for who you are. We don't. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if you girls wake up and say, Lord, I love you. It's not something that I think we're so busy. Our life is just so busy with so many other things that we forget. We really forget. And the other thing that I was also talking about was that he listens to us. From another experience too, just last year I had a big downfall where, emotionally, again, I fell into, I don't want to say a depression, but just of that feeling that lonely because I didn't have my partner.
Please, Mom.
And I said, does he need that?
Cheese. Let me eat it all.
What time is it? It's 7.
Yeah, it's coming back in a minute. She's gonna bring food. And stop messing with Cheetah, please. I had to give him allergy medicine.
Is it allergic?
I don't know. I think because he's rubbing. I don't know. I just gave him allergy medicine. Okay.
Okay. So,
Sorry.
that's okay. And the other thing that I was saying, last year I went back down to that stage where I did feel lonely again. I'm not ready to date or anything, so I was like, why am I feeling lonely, And I just said, Lord, I don't have that partner. I don't have that life partner that I thought I was gonna have. Who's gonna give me flowers? Who's gonna send me those letters? Who's gonna do that? But I was just talking out loud, me and God. 2 days after that, a patient, because I work with a doctor, walks in. I go, oh, she probably needs help. And she's like, who's Jackie? And I go, that's me. She goes, I don't know why. She goes, but I was at Trader Joe's and God told me to bring you flowers. And I looked at her and I broke down. I wasn't breaking down because of the flowers. I was breaking down because I was like, God is amazing. He heard me. He heard my talk. He heard my prayer. And she starts crying because she's like, I'm minding my own business at Trader Joe's. And she goes, do you even remember me? I'm like, I don't remember you. She goes, I came here 3 years ago for you to fix my glasses. I don't know why. I was like, well, what Jackie? There's so many, I know so many Jackies. So she said that. She said, okay, well, I'm just going to buy them and you take me where that Jackie is. And I'm hearing her out, but I'm crying. And the doctor's like, what's going on? I'm like, you're not going to understand. So she's crying and she goes, and the Lord guided me here. And I'm like, you're Christian? She goes, yeah. She goes, but I was like, I don't need to fix my glasses. I don't need to see the doctor. Why are you taking me here? And she walked in with flowers. And I was like, he heard me. But it was something where I still couldn't believe it. I was like, no. I'm going to ask for something else and let's see if it happens. And it happened again where it was not flowers itself, but there was a 4-year-old little girl and she said if I can give her paper. And I said, yeah, I can give you paper. And her grandma comes to me, she goes, oh, my daughter said that this is for you. And I said, okay. In her own little words, she just wrote, I love you, with a little heart. And I was like, this is what I was crying for, because I was saying, I'm not getting flowers anymore, I'm not getting those little notes anymore. And it was just an experience where I'm like, wow, God really does hear us. God really does. He's paying attention. But I feel sometimes we don't voice it out, we don't pray for it, we don't talk to him, then nothing's going to happen. And the thing that I like, and I've always compared a pen to a pencil. God has a pencil, he doesn't have a pen. Because God, you know how they say, ink, now they have whiteout and you rewrite it. But a pencil is where you're writing, but if something happens to you and you ask for forgiveness, God will come, he'll erase it and will make it right. And I always take that and I'm like, wow. And what am I doing? And I'm over here crying because I say nobody loves me. No, I'm wrong. I'm over here because I say nobody hears me. I am wrong. And the trust, it's just that we have to find that trust in him. And I'm still working with it because sometimes I'm like, oh, well, how am I going to do this? And it's like, I always forget. I have a powerful father. I have a powerful friend. And it's like, that's the best thing that can happen. And I just feel sometimes I think I speak for myself also that I think sometimes we just get too comfortable. You know, I am not going to sit here and tell you that I read the Bible every day. No, I don't. You know, and there are things where sometimes I catch myself and, you know, how am I going to go talk about this and it's not going to happen. Another thing too, that for such a long time when I started becoming a Christian, my friends stopped talking to me. My party friends, my high school friends, they just stopped talking to me. They were there for me when this whole thing happened, but they started kind of like parting ways, and I started getting upset, like, why are they not talking to me? And one of my friends said, you're not like us anymore. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, you don't party, you don't go out, and we kind of feel bad for ourselves to be your friend and be partying. And I was like, really? Like, wow, I didn't know that, you know? So I started feeling upset. I'm like, I have no friends. And I was hanging out with the older people from church. I was learning from them, but I still wanted to hang out with young people. So again, I was like, Lord, I want to serve. But if I'm going to serve in church, I want you to guide me where I'm going to go. And I was like, I really want to serve. I want to help people. I just want to like put my story out there and like just tell so many young girls, especially the young girls, that God is real. God hears you out. I don't know your past. I don't know what you've gone through, but there's no reason why you didn't go through that, because everything has a purpose in our lives. And like I was saying, I just told God, you know, if you're going to take me somewhere to serve, I want it to be somewhere where I'm going to experience things that I haven't. And then I went to the youth service. You girls been to the youth service?
Only been there once.
Not a great experience for me. I felt like, I was like, I'd rather hang out with the older people, you know. We're all young, you know, people. I don't know, sometimes I'm like, where are we? Aren't you my brother? Aren't you my sister?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you feel that closure, that it was just not a pretty feeling. And you know, and I started saying to myself, like, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just being picky, maybe I'm just, but why did she look at me like that? And I mean, am I not that cool because I don't have my hair up like her, or I don't sing like her? So I started feeling down, and I was like, I'm never coming back again. And I said, I don't get the same feel like I get like in the big temple, and I don't know if it's the people or I just think everybody's just crazy, and I'm leaving, you know. And I didn't go back. I went back to the temple, and I was like, I'd rather just hear the service, and I'm happy. Nobody's like choosing who to talk to. Nobody's looking at me in the wrong way where they're saying, you know, where did she come from? Or, I mean, we don't know her, so she's not cool, or whatever the case was. So, like I said, I was praying to God, and I said, you know, I want you to open doors for me, but I don't want you to open them here. But I was already putting a label, because I was like, I don't want to be looked at like, you're not cool, or you're not my friend, or you're not from her circle. Because that's how I felt, you know. So all of a sudden I hear that there's a group, Esther, the Esther group. I'm sure you've heard about it. And they were going to have a vigil. Never been to a vigil. I didn't know what Esther group was. And I was like, And I said, Lord, if this is something that you want me to do, because I said I wanted new experiences, take me. And I was like, well, if it's a vigil, I can't go because I work the next day, but I want to go. They said that the vigil was from 10 to 12. I was like, perfect. I go to sleep at 1, you know, so it's perfect. So I ended up going to the vigil. It's all women. I was like, okay, that's a plus, you know. I don't get to deal with the guys right now, just the girls. First thing, I went with expectations of like, I don't know anybody, so for sure nobody's going to talk to me, because it had happened to me in the youth service. And no, everybody was very welcoming. Everybody was very loving. And I was like, okay, this is too good to be true. So then they start praying and everything, and then they say that at the end of the service, they're going to have a table where you can be a part of the group, of the Esther group. And that Esther group is the type of group that you go out there and you help others, you go and talk to others, and it can be from saving pets to, I mean, getting involved with other groups at church. So I was like, oh, okay, I think this is for me. And it is for me. I've been in Esther group, I mean, for I think almost a year and a half. And I went to the retreat, the Esther retreat. And I must tell you that that's where the Lord spoke to me and freed me from a lot. And that's where I learned to just say, God, I'm here. Do what you got to do with me, because I want to get to that goal that you have for me. I understood then that my fiance was only there for a reason, that he had brought him in to my life, but that was it. Because I used to even blame myself for his death at a certain point. And I think I've lived with that guilt for such a long time, but he's, you know, the Lord is just so beautiful. He said it wasn't that, it was just that was it. That was his homework, and he's done. And I heard it in preachings where, like, yes, we cry, we mourn, but we should be happy. We should be happy that they're in a much better place. And we're the ones here, we're the ones still going through things. And it's just an experience where I'm learning, where I'm still trying to learn how to listen to him instead of always him listening to me. Because sometimes I say, why don't you speak to me? Why can't I hear you? But then I remember, it's like, no, you did speak to me. I just wasn't paying attention to you. So those are like the little experiences that I can share with you girls, that I can say that God has shown me his love, and he still is, and he's not going to stop. Even though sometimes, I mean, we try to walk that line, that perfect line towards him, and it happens. We kind of deviate from that line. But if we ask for forgiveness, and I mean, he hears us out. He's going to forgive us. But we have to keep in mind as well that we don't want to do wrong. We always want to do right. And mostly that, the trust, the love, the listening. I don't know if you girls have had any experiences with that, where you felt it, that you're just like, wow, like, how can I explain this, you know?
Open the door. Did you turn off the light from the room?
I don't know how to.
Oh, you better do it.
So that's just something that I wanted to share with you guys, and also the 1 John 5:14, which is where he hears us. It says in this confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he will hear us. So once again, it's just going back. Hi. It's just going back of how he hears it. He hears it. Okay. How he hears us, and those are experiences that I can say myself, like, wow, the Lord he's there, and he's with us at all moments. Also, another verse where he shows us the love towards us. You guys, I'm sure you guys know, which is, let's see.
That was the one that you just read, the 15. Should be. Excuse me.
Another thing too that I was seeing here is the how our most important responsibility is to love God. Because if God is not in us and we don't love, then how do we do anything? How would we say, I love you? You know? So those are just some little things that I was going to share, because they're experiences that happened to me, and like I said, I apply it to the Bible. And I mean, the Bible has mostly all the answers. Emotions and everything. I think the Bible is something that it's gonna have that answer for you on how you feel. It's just, I can't even explain it in words of how I've seen how God has blessed me. From the point where, like I said, I went from being so excited to being married to the point where I was just like, I don't want to fall in depression. Like, that's the only thing I ask you. I do not want to fall in depression. I want to be able to eat. You know, I want to be able to still go to church and not just cry and be at church because I wanted that comfort. It's because I want to worship you. I want to sing to you. And those are the things where also, I guess, the love part comes in, because I thought I knew what love was, but when I first finally got into going to church a lot and talking to God, that's where I finally said, this is what love is. Where you just don't want to leave there. You just want to look and look and look for more. And I was like, wow, this is really good. And I mean, I don't know if you girls had any experiences that you guys want to share. That you guys can say, like, well, you know, if you prayed and you got an answer.
When I was going to high school,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to graduate. Like, there's no possible way for me to graduate
Yeah.
at all. Like, all my teachers said it.
Yeah.
Even the counselors, everyone knew I wasn't going to graduate. And I think I prayed like every day, and everybody prayed for it. My parents prayed about it. And then, like, I even told God, like, you know, I guess sometimes when you say it, you make a promise, you get an answer, right?
Yeah.
So I promised that I would get baptized if I graduated, and I graduated. So I ended up getting baptized right after
Yeah.
that summer.
So that's where, like, I can say, like, wow, like, he really, sometimes it might take, like they say, years, but that's where we have to persevere in our prayer. It's not, okay, I'll pray for it today and then I'm tired tomorrow. I'll pray for it tomorrow. It happens to me where I say, okay, Lord, today, tonight, yes, at least 5 minutes I'm going to pray. And I get tired and I get sleepy. And it's like, wow, but what didn't he do for me? He's nonstop every day, 24/7. He's always doing something for us, even the most minimal thing, from giving us patience to showing us that it's the most minimal thing. And sometimes it's like, wow, what do we do for him? You know, and I think sometimes, like, my advice is just talk to God. If you girls are, I don't know, taking a walk, if you're in school, if you're in the car, I turn off my radio and I say, and I'm telling you, I say, hey dude, I don't know if you're busy, but I need to talk to you really quick right now. And I felt like this and I felt like that and I gave this response and I feel bad. And what do I do? And I know that he's hearing me out, that he's going to give me the answer. Like, I was sharing with your dad today that I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm really learning, so I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And in the morning, I heard exactly what he was telling me to say. And I was like, but me? Like, why do I need to share? Because I'm very private in my personal life. I was like, I don't want to share. They don't need to know. You know, you start going into that. And I was like, but no, that's true. It's a life experience that it's there for a reason. It's there where I grew up in a household where I didn't feel love. So I think I went, and that's why I got so excited. Oh my God, there's a guy that wants to marry me, and I'm going to get loved, and I'm going to be loved forever. But I was trusting in him so much that if he was tired, okay, I'm tired. I won't go to church. And I must say that I had to learn the hard way, where I was like, no. Now I know that in future, I'm going to put God first, and I'm sorry, whoever that person is, you're coming in second, because God is first. God has to be first. And, you know, sometimes I try to tell myself to learn Bible verses because I'm really bad. And it's like, what do I do? How do I learn? Sticky notes. I have them on my dashboard. And I try to, if I can't pick it up in 1 week, I'll have it there for a month, but it's there. Sometimes I forget them. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what that one said. But there are little things like that, and I mean, you girls, God is gonna do something so big with each and every one of you. You're the baby, but God has purposes for us, and just like, just like you're just special too, not just you. Like we're all special. We all have that gift. You have a gift. You have a gift. She has a gift. I have a gift. And we're working on it to find out what that gift is. I'm still working on it, what that gift is. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I was like, there's no God. Well, why is there's a God? Why is all this happening? I would always say that. And now it's like, no, there is a God, guys, and everything happens for a reason, because there are experiences that is going to help us reach out to others. And that's why I'm saying that now I found my purpose, and I'm working on it, and that's to work with young women. And because you might see me here, and you don't know what happened to me 20 years ago. But if I open up to you, you might have been or is going through that same problem, and you'll be like, Lord, I know exactly how she feels. I know exactly what to tell her, because I didn't have that guidance, and I want to be able to help the girls out there. And that's why I kept on asking, is it only girls? Because I don't want to talk to the boys, what do boys know,
It's all girls.
So it's a little different, and I just feel like, you girls have huge purposes in life. You girls, your parents, it's like they're kind of like, I see, and it's like they're giving you that golden key, like the little book said. They're giving you that golden key, that it's in you girls already. That seed is going to grow, and you have a lot to give. You have a lot to give. And God's going to use you in His time, and when He sees that you're ready, He's just going to throw you in there, like He has with me. Because I'm just like, I can't talk in front of people. No, and I get very nervous. I used to cry in high school when they used to make me do speeches. I used to cry first and then be like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like reading my paper crying. And be like, you're going to get an F for crying. Okay, give me 2 more minutes. Let me just cry it out. But because I was nervous. But now I think, the Lord's going to push me, but we're going to learn slowly. And like I said, you girls, I serve with the Esther group, and we're going to start doing activities, and I would love for you girls to come and join us. And for you, I don't know, how old are you?
15.
You can come. Because sometimes the topics that we touch we can't discuss all the time, but you can come. We have activities. Like I said, we had a retreat. That's where I figured the whole Esther thing. And I haven't had the greatest experiences at our church with the youth, and it's just like, this needs to be fixed, and we need to start somewhere.
Definitely.
And with the Esther group, I think that's what we're trying to do. We're just starting to, since we're just women though, because at first our group was known for the girls that were praying for husbands. It's not true. I went in with the same thought, like, I don't want to pray for a husband. I just lost, my future husband. Like, I don't want that. But then they kind of explained to me, like, no, that's what people were saying. But no.
That's what I thought it was. That you were
Yeah.
trying to find your man in God or
Yeah,
something.
right? So when they told me that, I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, you girls are crazy. But then I started talking to them, and I started going to their Bible classes, and I was like, Esther wasn't trying to find no man. Like, she was fasting because of the nation that she had so much to do for. And then of course she got the good husband. That's not wrong, But me too at first, and I would hear it like, oh, you're from the Esther group? Well, they only pray for this and for that. And I go, oh, so far we haven't prayed, for that, So then he explained to me that back many years ago, that's what the group was known as for. She prayed for them, and I was like, no, it's nothing like that. It's mostly just.
I don't need a husband.
You're like, I'm too young.
I don't even
No,
know.
it's mostly like right now we have some activities coming up, like setting up for some troops, like sending them what do you call those?
Missionaries?
Like the boxes with stuff for the
They send them like treats and stuff like that, and stuff
Yeah.
they need, and shirts and stuff. They send it to them.
yeah, like whatever they need, like they'll give us a list. It's a new project that we're working with.
What?
To the
It can be the army, it can be anything as long as you're serving.
yeah.
And then we're doing we just did the blood drive. I don't know if you've heard about the blood drive. So we did that. So it's mostly helping out.
Why'd you look at me?
It's mostly helping
you
out the
stared at me for a
community.
second. I felt it.
Oh, tell me about your blessed thing.
Oh yeah.
And little things like that with the group. So
So the blood drive was done by the group.
Esther group. We try to.
What
help
was
out
that
others.
for?
The blood drive.
Yeah.
It was
what
just to-
exactly just.
Well, the thing is that, sometimes we just receive. That we saw that we needed to give. And since the community right now, it's in very much need of the blood drive, because I heard they had canceled the previous school from that. So we're like, and this is our second blood drive, and it was just to help out the community and to get our name out there and to get our church out there. Like, people were like telling us, like, I didn't know this was a church. And we're like, yeah, this is a church. Oh, well, I always just thought it was a building. I just didn't know what kind of building. And it was a way for us to start talking, because everybody that donated is not just from our church. It's also people from the outside that they call, like, oh, there's going to be a blood drive around your location, and if you want to join. So it was that to help out others, and no, it's just to see that our group is out there to help others, not just to pray for our future husband. So it was just little things like that, and we want to start doing. We did an activity with mom and daughters last year. It was like a picnic. I don't know if you girls heard about it. And it was just the same thing, to share time with your parent. It was mostly with your mom. And like little things like that. So, I mean, you girls are more than welcome. I know I hope we're going to have another vigil, and just all girls. And that's the way, like, sometimes I'm like, only girls understand girls sometimes. Why do you
Girls
cry?
know girls the best.
Right? So, I mean, if you girls, anytime that we have an activity, I'll let you girls know, and maybe you girls can come by, because that's where I found my comfort.
Yeah.
And then I started going back to the youth service, and I said, well, now I have friends. And I went back, and it was the same. I was like, no, I'll just stick to the other building, and it was just different. And then I started thinking it was maybe my age. I'm like, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I belong in the big temple, But no, you see the differences sometimes, and but what can we do? It's just us. We know what we're going to look for, and we're looking there for the word and for the love of God. And I mean, it's just something that we have to work in as a church, but yeah, I don't know if you girls have any questions or anything that you guys want to ask me. You
It's
came
it.
late.
Mhm.
We missed you.
Someone's probably, oh yeah, we have to be here when she comes. You guys are.
I don't know, I started watching a rap store
What are you guys making?
and so
Wow. You guys
for
really.
your eyebrows. You didn't want to take me, so Mom was like,
I
okay.
can't believe you didn't know it.
No wonder you guys took forever.
No.
She's like, don't leave
She
me
left the
eyebrows.
money here, and then we went back.
And that's why you guys came back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys take forever.
So, I mean, And you girls ever need somebody to talk to
How
sometimes?
old are you? Sorry.
How do you think I am?
Like 25 maybe at most?
No.
Older?
Yeah.
Maybe 28?
No.
26?
No.
You're 30?
I'm 30.
What?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
This whole time I thought you were like 25 at most.
No, I'm going to be 30 this year. I just say I'm 30 now. I always said I'm 30. I don't know.
My mom turns 40 and she starts telling everybody she's 41.
She goes a year
I'm like
ahead.
her.
She goes a year
Last
ahead.
year I was 29 and they're like, how old are you turning? 30. And I'm like, I think 29. Whatever, round it off 30, you know? But I mean 30 and in the past years I've gone through a lot. But like I said, it's an experience that I'm learning to kind of embrace and say thank you, because there's a lot of young girls out there that do need that guidance and that help, and it doesn't need to be that itself. It can be so many other things, you know. And I feel that I think now I can say, I don't ask why did that happen to me, or what. Now I say, oh, I see why that happened to me, and it's a learning experience. And I mean, you have your kids, right? And I'm like, when I was engaged, I was like, great, I'm engaged, and then the next step is a kid, and got to a point where I was like, wow, just having it's hard, it's tough, but I mean, how old are you? You look so young too.
24.
Oh yeah, no, I thought you were like 18.
It's just small.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I
It's
mean,
miniature.
you're going in a good path if the Lord is with you and the Lord is your guidance. And if you ever need somebody to hear you, it's Him. If you need help, it's Him. And I think that you being here is just not just to be here. You know, there's a reason for you to be here. And I mean, I don't know you girls, but I feel that you girls are very blessed. And I mean, you girls have great parents. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, how come I didn't grow up with parents like that, you know? Or how come I didn't have that? Or how come, and I do see it. When I see your mom and your dad, I was like, how come I don't have that? I didn't have a mom so affectionate, or my dad that worried, or...
My mom's not affectionate.
Yeah, she
She
is.
doesn't even let us kiss her.
No,
we have to
Nancy?
we have to force her. I literally like
Really?
squeeze her just so I can kiss her.
Oh, we drop her in the couch for her.
Yo
My
creo que vas a tener
dad-
que escuchar lo que es amor.
My dad will let you hug him,
Yeah.
just kiss him.
Oh, so then I had it wrong.
But she goes more crazy on my dad. She socks him, and she goes drops him.
That's different. It's love, okay?
It's love.
That's she shows her love.
Yeah.
I meet her too. But my mom is not all.
And I would feel her like she's
sweet with my girl.
Sometimes, but it's only when she wants. When we want to be sweet, she's like, stop. I don't want to kiss. I don't want to hug. Stop.
kill you.
Stop. No. It's on.
I'm a
It's on camera.
Yes, you're good.
Got you.
No, I'm a good mother. I'm not sweet with you guys.
Only
How many times
Okay,
I wake up every day?
key word.
make you
Only when
breakfast?
you want to be.
No. But when you're little, I always hug you
See?
and kiss you and.
What happened?
That's it, your time's up.
That was
Now I'm too tired. They
Yeah,
are
but we
bigger.
try to give you hugs and you don't
But
get it.
when you play,
No.
okay, I'm sorry.
I know. I was like,
She's
like,
I'm
Do you see
sorry.
that? Do you see that?
But yeah, you girls should take advantage of what you guys have here. And let me tell you girls that
There she
you guys
is.
are going to learn a lot. Because I didn't grow up with that. I mean, I'm really learning how to work a Bible.
Mhm.
I'm really learning that, you know, that the Bible is in sequence. It's not just you know? I used to think, like, how do people know where that is? Like, how come there's like 20 Bibles and all the books are, you know, I was like, I grew up in a Catholic home, but the Bible was just there because the Bible was going to protect us if you opened it up to, what was it, Psalms 91. And I asked my mom, but do you even know what that's? She was no. No. So I never grew up with that. That's why I said that. There was a point where I was like, there's no God. I mean, I wouldn't have gone through that if there was a God. I wouldn't have gone. But then everything that happened to me opened up and made my world much, much more different, where there was a point where I just wanted to scream, like, God is real. Like, you guys gotta believe that God is real. And it was just an amazing experience, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for me. Sometimes I'm a little scared because you really gotta, there's tough things. But now I'm ready. I'm ready to take them on, and it's something that, don't give up, you know? Tough times are gonna come. Downs are gonna come. But the victory and the glory that we get in his name is just even more amazing than what we can do here. And it's just something that I've learned and I'm learning. And like I said at first, I was like, I just hope they're girls because I want to talk to guys, you know? Like, I don't know what to tell them. Like, I mean, what do you guys know, you know? So, I mean, it was a pleasure and to be here with you girls. And if you girls have any questions, I'm here to answer. And you missed the whole thing. So you can't
Go to another room.
Yeah, here.
It's been a blessing. It's just a start. I know I didn't like even use the Bible so much, but I think that was just something that, you know, let you girls know that whatever you girls have gone through, it's not just to happen. There's a reason, there's a purpose. But we're not just gonna let it happen either. You know, it's like, oh, okay, let me go do this. Oh, it happened wrong. No. It's just that God has a story for all of us. And I don't know, do you girls like talk to God? Like maybe not even just in a prayer, but just talk to him.
Not as often.
And I'm with you, not as often. Sometimes I'm like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, and like it's 12 o'clock. I'm like, ooh, I didn't even say thank you, Lord. You know, and it's sometimes I go through the whole day, and I'm like, I get mad at myself because I'm like, it's so true. We forget, and he doesn't forget about us. He's there 24/7, and I don't know if you guys like to write. Sometimes that's how I just write, and it's like I'm writing a letter to him. And even though I don't know where it's going, but I know he's hearing me out. So it's another thing that I wanted to encourage you girls to just write. And if not writing, I mean, talk to him. Talk to him like he was your friend. And sometimes you're gonna be amazed by the responses that he's gonna give you, the things that he will show you. And there's just sometimes that we feel that he doesn't hear us out. That's when he's really paying attention, but we're not really even noticing. And, yeah. So I got you guys something really small. I was just like, oh my God, I don't know. There's like so many girls. Yay. So it's just 3 of you girls. Just encouraging you girls to write whatever you guys are feeling and let God take over. It can be anything. It can be from, I mean, I complain. I complain too much. I complain. Lord, why does my wrist hurt today? Oh, why do I want it hurt tomorrow? Because I have so much typing to do. It can be that. To me, it's just the smallest things, but just to encourage you girls to just to write, to talk to him, to look for him. And sometimes I go back to things that I wrote. I'm like, I can't believe I wrote that. And it's like, he answered that. Oh, okay. I can't believe I was mad. Was I that angry that day? Wow, okay. And then I go back to it and I'm like, wow. Like, he was there all this time and I never paid attention to that. So I'm just encouraging you girls. Oh yeah, and I love that thing about the pencil and the pen. how it's like, yeah, God has a pencil, he doesn't have a pen. So I don't know if you, I don't know which one you girls want. I think they're like all different.
How did I know you were gonna take that one?
I don't know.
There's another one.
Like, oh, that one.
So, and I got you guys pencils and pens. These are my favorite pens. So, I don't know if you girls like, I don't know what colors you guys want, but. So just to encourage you girls. Oh, you want purple? I think there's another purple one. So, just to encourage you
don't
girls.
even get it, or you weren't here.
So just to encourage you girls to write and to just let it out on paper and go back to it. And you guys are God's gonna give you some stuff that you're gonna be like, oh, okay. And in the future, you guys can use, because I actually went back to some stuff like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna talk about? And this is my life experience. Like, many of us, we just, like, I don't know what you've gone through. And I see, I'm like, she has amazing parents, so what could the girl have gone to? You know? But then I'm wrong. Because everybody has something different, you know? But, and I don't know your story. And then people see me and they're like, oh, you know, they always tell me, you heard in Spanish, te va a dejar el tren. Why? Because you're 30, you're not even married, you didn't even have kids, but they don't know my story. They don't know my story. And I'm not the type to, oh, let me tell you, let me get some coffee with you. No. But today I was like, you know what, I think that's a good example to start off with and just kind of to break the ice and have you girls write a little bit, hear me out. So we're going to have to talk to you on the side now. No, just kidding.
You have to stay an extra hour over there.
Yeah, go listen to that. Come back and give me some feedback. So we're just going to do a small prayer. And do you want to pray and close prayer? Yeah, don't be shy. I used to be like that too.
Just to pray for the food, chicos.
¿Puedo decir algo?
Sí. In
Yo creo
English.
que-
No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think the more blessing person in this room is me, because
You're surrounded by
I
girls.
was hearing, and you guys are